हरे कृष्ण माता
कृष्ण
जी,
नंद
दंडवत
प्रिय
प्रणाम।
नर्मदा माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, प्रीतिदास जी फ्रॉम शार्लोट। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय। दिस इज अरविंदाक्ष दास फ्रॉम शिकागो। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Arindaksha Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya Narmada Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. This is Kalpataru Devidasi from Chicago. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Kalpataru Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya Narmada Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Aditi Devi Dasi in Canada.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priya Narmada Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Nara.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Are there any other devotees who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya. Sorry, go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya Narmada Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shamagauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya Narmada Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devidasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya Narmada Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Sanita Ramya from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all the assembled devotees. This is Sushmita from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Sushmita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Pinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the Vaishnavas and the Vaishnavis on the call. Vanishri from Bangalore, India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vanishri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji has not joined yet, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Are there any other devotees who would like to introduce themselves?
Shall we go ahead with the introduction, and if Prabhuji joins, then we'll continue?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Bala Vrinda, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Bala Vrinda, for joining and introducing yourself to us. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya Narmana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Hare Krishna, welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Adhokshaja Krishna Prabhu on the call to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 10th chapter, 17th to 28th sloka. Before handing over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to ask Aditi Mataji to give a brief introduction about Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare His Grace Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisance. And we are very fortunate to have Prabhu this morning, and this is a brief introduction for him. His Grace Adhokshaja Krishna Prabhuji came in touch with Bhagavad Gita and ISKCON in 2013. He earned B.Tech in Electronics and Communication. Prabhuji served as a hardware engineer in Indian Navy from 2014 to 2017. He was initiated in 2017 by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Adhokshaja Krishna Prabhuji is currently working independently and trying to understand Srila Prabhupada's book. Thank you very much for joining us today, Prabhuji, and over to you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for the introduction. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept the humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, it's Canto 6, 10th chapter, 17th to 28th slokas, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, please take over the call.
Thank you, Mataji, and thank you for once again giving me opportunity for my own purification. I am no one to enlighten anyone else except myself. But as always, Shama Gauri Mataji is very merciful towards me, and she gives me this opportunity so that I can read and try to repeat what I heard from Srila Prabhupada and other senior Vaishnavas. Otherwise, personally speaking, I am myself not enlightened. So, all right. So we'll start by chanting Mangalacharan, and then we'll read the verses. Verse 17th till 27th have no purports. So I'll read the shloka, Sanskrit text and its translation, and then maybe 28th shloka, devotees can repeat after me. But first we'll chant Mangalacharan, and then we'll begin with Mataji, if don't know, I can share the screen.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 10, Text 17 onwards. रुद्रैर्वसुभिरादित्यैर् अश्विभ्यां पितृवह्निभिः मरुद्भिर्रिभुभिः साध्यैर् विश्वे देवैर्मरुत्पतिं दृष्ट्वा वज्रधरं शक्रं रोचमानं स्वया श्रिया नामृष्यन् असुरा राजन् मृधे वृत्रपुरःसराः. O king, when all the asuras came unto the battlefield headed by Vritrasura, they saw King Indra carrying the thunderbolt and surrounded by the Rudras, Vasus, Adityas, Ashwini Kumaras, Pitas, Vahnis, Maruts, Ribhus, Sadhyas, and Vishwadevas. Surrounded by his company, Indra shone so brightly that his effulgence was intolerable to the demons. नमुचिः शम्बरो नर्वा द्विमूर्धार्षभोऽसुरः हयग्रीवः शङ्कुशिरा विप्रचित्तिरयो मुखः पुलोमा वृषपर्वा च प्रहेतिर्हेतिरुत्कलः दैतेया दानवा यक्षा रक्षांसि च सहस्रशः सुमाली माली प्रमुखाः कार्तस्वरपरिच्छदाः प्रतिसिद्ध्येन्द्रसेनाग्रं मृत्योरपि दुरासदम् अभ्यर्दयन् असम्भ्रान्ताः सिंहनादेन दुर्मदाः गदाभिः परिघैर्बाणैः प्रासमुद्गरतोमरैः. Many hundreds and thousands of demons, demi-demons, and they are demigods and they are demi-demons also. Yakshas, Rakshasas, man-eaters and others, headed by Sumali and Mali, resisted the armies of King Indra, which even death personified cannot easily overcome. Among the demons were Namuchi, Shambara, Anarva, Dvimurdha, Rishabha, Asura, Hayagriva, Shankushira, and this Hayagriva is different. Head of a horse, that is called Hayagriva. Even Lord incarnated as Hayagriva, but this is the demon Hayagriva. Shankushira, Viprachitti, Ayomukha, Puloma, Vrishaparva, Praheti, Heti, and Utkala. Roaring tumultuously and fearlessly like lions, these invincible demons, all dressed in golden ornaments, gave pain to the demigods with weapons like clubs, bludgeons, arrows, barbed darts, mallets, and lances. शूलैः परस्वधैः खड्गैः शतघ्निभिर्भुषुण्डुभिः सर्वतो वा किरन् शस्त्रैः अस्त्रैश्च विबुधर्षभान्. Armed with lances, tridents, axes, swords, and other weapons like Shatagnis and Bhushundis, the demons attacked from different directions and scattered all the chief of the demigod armies. Our Acharya Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he explains the meaning of these weapons also. Bhushundis is 4 arms wide, and Shatagnis are feathered arrows, and barbed lances. You all might be getting reminded of some Hollywood movie here. न ते दृश्यन्त संच्छन्नाः शरजालैः समन्ततः पुङ्खानुपुङ्खपतिते ज्योतिं शिव नभो घनैः. As the stars in the sky cannot be seen when covered by dense clouds, the demigods, being completely covered by networks of arrows falling upon them one after another, could not be seen. Nate shastrastra varshaughā ye asedhu surasainikān छिन्नः सिद्धपथे देवैर् Laghu Hastahi Sahasradha. The showers of various weapons and arrows released to kill the soldiers of the demigods did not reach them because the demigods, acting quickly, cut the weapons into thousands of pieces in the sky. Atha Kshinastra Shastrogha Giri Shringa Drumopalai Abhyavarsan Sura Balam Chichidustans Purvavat. As their weapons and mantras decreased, the demons began showering mountain peaks, trees, and stones upon the demigod soldiers. But the demigods were so powerful and expert that they nullified all these weapons by breaking them to pieces in the sky as before. Tanakshatan Swastimato Nishamya Shastrastra Pugair Athavritranatha Drumair Drishadbhir Vividhadrishringair Avikshatan Tatrasur Indra Sainikan. When the soldiers of the demons, commanded by Vritrasura, saw that the soldiers of King Indra were quite well, having not been injured at all by their volleys of weapons, not even by the trees, stones, and mountain peaks, the demons were very much afraid. Text 28. Devotees can repeat after me. Sarve prayasa abhavan vimogha kritaha krita deva ganeshu daityaihi Krishnānukuleshu yatha mahatsu Kshudrahi prayukta ushati rukshavachaha Sarve prayasa abhavan vimoghaha Krita krita deva ganeshu daityaihi Krishnānukuleshu yatha mahatsu Kshudrahi prayukta ushati rukshavachaha Sarve prayasa abhavan vimoghaha Kritaha krita deva ganeshu daityaihi Krishnānukuleshu yatha mahatsu Kshudrahi prayukta ushati rukshavachaha. Word to word meaning translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Synonyms: Sarve, all, prayasaha, endeavors, abhavan, were, vimoghaha, futile, kritaha, performed, kritaha, again performed, deva ganeshu, unto the demigods, daityahi, by the demons, Krishna anukuleshu, who were always protected by Krishna, yatha, just as, mahatsu, unto the Vaishnavas, kshudraihi, by insignificant persons, prayuktaha, used, ushatihi, unfavorable, ruksha, rough, vachaha, words. Translation: when insignificant persons use rough words to cast false, angry accusations against saintly persons, their fruitless words do not disturb the great personalities. Similarly, all the efforts of the demons against the demigods who were favorably situated under the protection of Krishna were futile. Purport: there is a Bengali saying that if a vulture curses a cow to die, the curse will not be effective. Similarly, accusations made by demoniac persons against devotees of Krishna cannot have any effect. The demigods are devotees of Lord Krishna, and therefore the curses of the demons were futile. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Thapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschate Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Upam Kurti Vachalam Pangum Nangayate Patam Vinde Shri Guru Brahmananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Hare Krishna. So the following chapter is the demon Vritrasura killed by Indra, or the battle between demons and demigods. So previous chapter, you all heard that how Vritrasura, after appearing, caused havoc, and demigods, they were so frightened. And we see that very interesting thing we saw in the last chapter, Supreme Lord's words of assurance to demigods, and in one way it was sarcastic also, because Supreme Lord advised demigods to approach Dadhichi Muni and to ask for his bones. We will find throughout Srimad Bhagavatam different ways Lord has dealt with his devotees, and in different ways he has given protection. And we can, when we go to 8th canto, we will see that again the demons and demigods, they fought valiantly after the churning of the milk ocean. There, when demons became oppressive, Supreme Lord himself appeared and he started killing demons. All these demons were, the same demons were present there, Namuchi and Kalnemi and all. And here Lord is not coming himself. He's saying, you go and ask the Dichimuni. He could have given some weapon, or he could have blessed Indra. And previous to this chapter, we read about Narayan Kavacha, that how only a demigod or a person who has elevated himself to the level of a deva, he can perform this ceremony of covering himself with this Narayan Kavach. Indra did that. Indra did that, and he fought demigods. He fought demons. But he knows Narayan Kavacha, and in previous chapter, Lord says that Dadhichi's bones are very strong because of his protecting covering Narayan Kavacha, which he gave to Twasta, and Twasta gave to Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa taught to you. So then Indra should have thought that Narayan Kavacha made his bones strong. I already have that. And it's Narayan Kavach. No one can penetrate it. But there are numerous ways how Lord deals with his devotees, and especially those who are, we can't understand that. And there is no point in applying our intelligence to understand that. Once I asked His Holiness Jayadvat Swami Maharaj, that Maharaj, we see that Krishna, to take back all his eternal associates, he made Yadus fight amongst themselves. If he wants to take all his eternal associates with him, why he has to arrange for a fight? We saw in Ramayana that Lord Rama, he took everyone to Saket, but he did not arrange a fight between them. They just followed Lord Rama, they went into the Saryu river and they went back to Saket Dham. So why this time Krishna made everyone fight? We understand that some were demigods, some were eternal associates. So like that I asked. Maharaj is expert in answering in few words. So he just said, if Krishna had done the same thing, people would have, there's no spice in it. Variety is mother of enjoyment. So he wanted some variety. So just like that he replied. The point is there is no, it's unnecessary to apply our intelligence in this direction. Why Lord did this? Question should be, okay, Lord did this. Now what do I have to learn from this and how do I apply? So Indra approached Dadhichi Muni, and beautiful verses are there in this chapter in the beginning. The conversation between Dadhichi and demigods. And then Dadhichi prepared himself to sacrifice his life. And then these demigods, they got his bones. Vishwakarma prepared the thunderbolt. And this thunderbolt was surcharged with Lord's divine power. So Indra, when he took that thunderbolt, he was also enlightened. Not the enlightenment as we understand, knowledge wala enlightenment, no. Just effulgence. He became effulgent. Not spiritual enlightenment. Because Indra has a purpose. He wants to win. He wants to conquer Vritrasura. Because he wants his throne back. So then they all approached and they all came back on the battlefield. And again, the descriptions are so graphical here that we always tend to visualize this and understand, okay, how did this happen? Where did this happen? So this cosmology is another big subject, and so many stalwarts in present times are already scratching their brain to understand this. Even Lord Brahma cannot understand the entirety of this universe. So what to speak of insignificant Kali Yuga people like us. But still, there are many great, highly educated devotees in our movement who are trying to crack this. And on the basis of that only, our Temple of Vedic Planetarium is being erected. So hopefully those who are interested in understanding cosmology, they can, in a short time, get to know little bit, understand how this is explained in our Shastras. But here we see that different kinds of demigods, they are assisting Indra. And to our surprise, even Rudras. We know Rudra is expansion of Shiva. And Shiva Tattva is different from Jiva Tattva. Demigods till Brahma, we are all Jiva Tattva. But Rudra is Shiva Tattva. So, and Shiva is above Brahma. So here we see Rudras are assisting. So same Srimad Bhagavatam explains. I'm not able to remember the exact verse number, but there are 1 million Rudras in this universe. 11 are principal. Then Lord Shiva, he enters each universe as Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu enters each universe. Similarly, Shiva also enters each universe and he expands as 11 principal Rudras. Apart from that, there are 1 million Rudras. If you remember, initially Brahma, when Rudra appeared from between his eyebrows, he ordered him to procreate, expand the population. And his progeny, they were all destroying the universe. So then Brahma stopped everyone. Okay, stop, go and perform tapasya. So the Rudras are there. And same Srimad Bhagavatam, I think this is in 4th canto. In one of the purports or translation, it comes that a jiva who successfully completes 100 lifetimes of Brahma, if he acquires that much piety, he can become a Rudra. So even Rudra is sometime a Jiva Tattva. So these are not technical things given in our Shastras. And our Acharyas in their commentaries have described this. Why am I describing this? Because our own Acharya, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he even explains the meaning of these weapons, which we have nothing to do with. Nobody is using these weapons in today's date. But because he's explaining, So that's why we are repeating. Everything in Bhagavatam is important. Like in text 24, the word comes as Punkhanu Punkha Patitair. The arrows were following each other, one arrow and then other arrow. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained the Punkha means feathered end of the arrow. So arrows were falling as one arrow had exactly followed the next arrow. So like that, all the arrows were falling. So we can just try to imagine all this. Shatagni, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, is a weapon which is 4 hastas in length with iron spikes on the top. And Bhushundi is a weapon which is arranged with iron spikes. So like that, these weapons are described, these demigods are described, and so graphical description is there. This fight is happening. And then we see that how demons actually, apparently they overpower demigods, but demigods, although they are not visible inside the dense cloud of arrows, but they are cutting all the arrows and not letting any of the weapon fall on them. So then not just astra, not just shastra, even astras were used. Shastra is something which we normal weapons which we throw, or like arrows. Astra is charged with mantras. So mantras have powers. We have heard about this, that sound can give a physical effect. We see even in physical time, I mean even in modern times, how sound actually has an impact on our consciousness, not just consciousness, even physical level. And now there is something called sound therapy. It's very popular in Western countries. And recently we were hearing one class by His Holiness Bhanu Swami. He was explaining the mysteries of sound. There's so much research has been done on this sound waves, and some things we also have heard and seen, that how sound gives a physical impact. So this, our Shastras explain that sound is not just something. There is difference between sound and noise. Like I'm knocking, I'm tapping this table. So we can't say this is sound. Bhagavatam defines that in 3rd canto in Sankhya Yoga, Lord Kapila describes what is sound. So he says that sound is something which conveys the idea of an object and gives us an idea about the speaker without him in our vision. So sound is something which conveys the idea of an object, and it is a subtle transformation of ether. So these are technical, very scientific things, and which is open for research work, and already lots of research is going on. So sound is that which conveys the idea. From sound, creation can happen. So Vedas explain that there are 4 levels of sound, which is technically known. I don't know the details. I'm just blabbering something which I have heard. It may be of interest to you. So para, pashyanti, madhyama, and vaikhari. So what we talk in day-to-day terms, conventional words we use to indicate towards the objects, that is called vaikhari at a physical level. Then at mental level, it becomes madhyama, pashyanti above that, and para means spiritual, transcendental. So sound which is coming from para platform, it is non-different from the speaker or the personality or the object. Like if I say, the Prabhupada would always give this example, that if you say water, 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 it is different from the substance water. We will not be able to quench our thirst by repeatedly saying water, water, water. We need the substance. Why? Because the sound water, or we say pani, or we say in Russian they say vadami, whatever it is. These are all conventional terms to point to the object which is liquidy in appearance, or it quenches our thirst. It is not same, because it is at the level of vaikhari sound. It is different from the object. But at para platform, spiritual platform, the sound and the object is same. That's why Krishna's name and Krishna's form or Krishna's personality, Krishna is the object of our devotion. So we have no means to approach him other than the sound. So we can chant them, although we are not realizing it now, but the sound is para. This is coming from spiritual platform. And all the apparently seeming very simple purports of Prabhupada, but if you read the purport of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is so much detail, complete understanding of this sound. Sound education is completely given in Prabhupada's purports. He completely understands the level of sounds. And a person, that's why a person who is situated at para platform, spiritual platform, when he speaks, his sound is actually not coming from any of the material plane, either physical, mental, or intellectual plane. It is coming from spiritual plane. So when we hear such a sound, inconceivably, we also undergo transformation inside. And this transformation is visible in the reduction of our anarthas, our material desires, and increment in our spiritual desires. So that's why Shastra's Bhagavatam says Bhakti begins with Shravanam. Bhakti is not Shravanam and then, I don't know the Sanskrit word of understanding. It says Shravanam Kirtanam, just hear. Although we all should apply our intelligence, but we should also understand that our intelligence is not enough to understand scriptures. Not everything will fit in our intelligence. Krishna is unlimited. So if we want to keep God unlimited, we have to accept the fact that our intelligence is limited. So everything cannot fit in our tiny intelligence. Then why should we apply our intelligence? We should apply as much as to understand as much as we can, but then we should also understand that we cannot understand. That is the point. Entire Bhagavatam is trying to make us humble, that you cannot understand. Even the material descriptions of this universe is so difficult to visualize. We go in space, you don't see anything, what is described in Bhagavatam. So then what is it? So those who are in the scientific wing of ISKCON, they are working on it. So devotees who are interested in understanding all this, they can approach those devotees. So there they may get something. But what we can learn from here is the application. Application that wherever we go in this universe, problems are happening. Problems are there. And we are seeing the power of the sound also in these verses. Even demons, they know mantras. Demigods, they know mantras. But then they don't know the highest mantra. So all problems, Narayana's name, just his name is enough to remove all the problems. We see in 4th canto when Dhruv Maharaj fights all the yakshas. So he was also similarly surrounded by all these yakshas were throwing all kinds of weapons and filthy substances. It was an illusion. And Dhruv Maharaj was covered in that illusion. And just by chanting the name of Narayana, all the illusion was gone. So that is the impact, that is the power of the sound which is coming from spiritual platforms. So Lord's name and Lord's personality is always spiritual. So when we chant his names and again, we also gradually come to the level of para. Our existence also becomes spiritual. So similarly, devotees, as described in this verse 28, devotees are always protected by Supreme Lord. Here it is said that insignificant persons, when they use rough words, so in a battle, in a fight, it's not just weapons which are used. Weapons, there are different kinds of weapons used, but one special kind of weapon is also used, which is called tongue. There is a saying in Hindi that tongue is sharper than sword or scissor. So, so in battlefield or whenever two people fight, usually we see that it starts with tongue only. They use rough words and then the Rudra principle gets manifested in the hands, physical. First it comes in the language, in the tongue. So they are using these rough words to agitate demigods. But then these rough words or angry accusations, these words do not affect a devotee. Devotee is always situated in spiritual platform. Similarly, demons, they are trying to harm demigods, but because they are under the Krishna Anukuleshu, the word used is Krishna Anukuleshu, because they are always protected by Krishna, so their attempts is futile. So Lord's protection is being talked about here in this verse. We see in scriptures that in different ways Lord protects his devotees. And this is the very foundational, we can say, foundation of our philosophy or our practice. Not philosophy, our practice. It is very foundation. Mare Krishna, Rakhe Krishna Mare. Devotional service cannot be practiced unless we surrender. So that we know, we have heard. Principles of Sharanagati. There are 6 principles of Sharanagati as explained in Nectar of Devotion. And the Sanskrit words Srila Rupa Goswami describes is Anukulyasya Sankalpa Pratikulyasya Varjanam. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in one of his bhajan, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori. In this bhajan, let me take out this bhajan. In this bhajan, also he quotes these 6 principles of Sharanagati. And if you remember the line, Dainya Atmanivedana Goptritve Varana Avashya Rakshibe Krishna Vishwasa Palana Bhakti Anukula Matra Karyera Svikara Bhakti Pratikula Bhava Varjanangikara. So Srila Rupa Goswami explains in this verse, Anukulyasya Sankalpa Pratikulyasya Varjanam Rakshasi iti Vishwaso Goptritve Varanam Tata Atmanikshepa Karpani Shadvidha Sharanagati. So there is a succession. First thing he says, Anukulyasya Sankalpa, accept what is favorable, and Pratikulyasya Varjanam, reject what is unfavorable. And Karpanya comes in the end. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he changes the sequence. He first says Dainya Atma Nivedana. Dainya Atma Nivedana Goptritve Varana. Then next verse he says Bhakti Anukula Matra Karyera Svikara. So unless we are humble, unless we are surrendered, Bhakti does not start. And Bhakti's first principle is Prapatti, humility, surrender. And surrender actually begins with humility. Become humble that I don't know anything, I can't understand anything. I'm so puffed up, but I don't understand anything. I'm so puffed up that I can chant mantras, I can recite shlokas, I can read Bhagavatam, I can memorize so many things. I'm so educated, but I'm hardly applying a single line of, whatever I'm doing is very superficial. So first thing is become humble. And then bhakti starts. So devotees, such devotees, they're always protected. And when we surrender to Lord, the surrender's mood, the mood of surrendering is not in expecting Lord's protection. We just have to have faith that Krishna will protect. The verse or this bhajan by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it does not say that Krishna, please protect me, or Krishna should protect me. It is saying, Avashya Rakshide Krishna Vishwasa Palan. One should have Vishwas, one should have faith. Rakshasi iti Vishwaso. One should have faith that Krishna will protect. It is not saying one should demand Krishna's protection or one should pray for Krishna. Definitely devotees pray to Krishna. But then as we go up the ladder of bhakti, pure devotional service, we see that devotees don't even pray for their protection. Obviously, we are not at that level. When we are in danger, we should pray. We should pray for our protection. We should pray for protection of this body whenever we are in danger, because this body is our instrument. We are using this body to perfect our life, to serve Lord. But yet, the Premi Bhaktas, the advanced devotees or pure devotees, rather, they don't pray to Krishna for their personal protection. So then, Krishna protects, Krishna, devotees are always under his care. How do we understand this? Why is he not giving protection? We see sometimes devotees ask that he protected his devotee, like Prahlad Maharaj, he is protected. Whenever any attempt was made to kill him, Lord personally appeared to protect him. We don't see that happening today. Devotees, they are in danger. Lord is not personally coming. So then, how do we understand this? Why is not God? Sometimes devotees also ask, why is he not protecting the way he protected Prahlad Maharaj? So the overall protection of Krishna is not just at physical level. It is at the ultimate protection is our spiritual protection. He protects our bhakti. Krishna, he may protect us physically, may not protect us. But ultimately our bhakti will be protected. So let's first go into the scriptures only, and there are examples where Krishna actually did not protect physically, but bhakti was protected. And there are examples where Krishna, right from the beginning, physical protection also he was providing. So when we see both, then our faith actually strengthens that no, he is protecting me also. As much as I am following path of bhakti, that much protection I am getting, I should have faith. We see in Mahabharata that Sri Arjuna, he was always protected by Krishna. Krishna was always with him. When an arrow was coming, it was about to hit Arjuna's head. Krishna just pressed the chariot, and the arrow took off the helmet, Arjuna's helmet. He was protected at every instant physically. But then in the same Mahabharata, the same battlefield, Kurukshetra battlefield, we see Abhimanyu was not protected. Abhimanyu was killed brutally by 7 warriors, and Krishna did not protect him. So Arjuna cried, Maharaj Yudhishthir cried, everyone is crying that how come? So Ved Vyasa actually he appears at that scene because he could understand that this has to be explained. This situation needs address. We see in Ramayana also, Jatayu was not protected apparently physically. He was killed by Ravana. No one came to help him. He was killed. But then Hanuman, he was always protected. And he would always ascribe all his strength to Lord Rama's name. So all examples are given in scriptures, not that something new is happening in Kali Yuga. It has happened before also. And our acharyas have addressed all these things in great detail. So Ved Vyasa actually appears on the scene when Abhimanyu was killed. So he speaks to Yudhishthira. He tells that don't lament. Lord's means are actually not easy to understand. It's inscrutable. You cannot understand. How is he protecting? Ved Vyasa says that we are all living in this world of temptations. And the more we stay here, especially day by day, the environment is becoming like that. The more we stay in this environment, we have to struggle with the temptations. There is always a struggle. So someone who has left very early from this world, and Krishna has left early from this world for spiritual world, not just death. There are many youngsters who are dying, but they are not going back to spiritual world. Some youngsters die out of taking intoxication also. So, but a devotee who leaves his body at a very young age, it is very considered very auspicious, because he did not have to struggle very much like we are struggling against the temptations. Krishna took him, he just had some little bit more bhakti to perform. He finished it and Krishna took him back to spiritual. So in that ways, it is mercy of Krishna. But then someone may say that then all the devotees, they should be taken back by Krishna at a young age. So we all have our baggage of karma. Our intensity of bhakti is different. Our baggage of karma is different. Our purposes are different. We all are meant to do something. When we have joined this movement, we all should try to, not imagine, but we all can approach our spiritual master that what service is there for me. Or we all should think that I have something special to do. I have to contribute in this movement. So we all have our contribution to make, although we are very insignificant. But the point is, these are the parameters on which things vary. The end result varies. So Abhimanyu, he was protected by Krishna. Ved Vyasa says that his protection, he did not have to wait like all of us. Krishna just took him at the age of 16 only. But we are here left in this world fighting with these temptations. So don't worry about him. So one should not ask that why Lord did this, or in what ways did he protect. Sometimes we see that even our devotees, they meet accidents. Few years back, 6 or 7 devotees were flying and the entire plane crashed and all those devotees, they could not be saved. They left their body. And then there was a big article in Back to Godhead magazine. By His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj also addressed that Krishna's protection is inconceivable actually. We can't conceive how he is protecting. But we all should ask that, okay, what now? What to do now? And how do what do I learn from this situation? Jatayu was not protected by Lord Rama physically, but then Lord Rama personally did his final funeral ceremony, and then he went back to spiritual world. Even his own father, Maharaj Dashrath, did not get that. And Lord Rama was not there to do his final ceremony, but Jatayu got that. So similarly, we see that Lord protects at all level. Sometimes it is visible, sometimes it is not visible. So these demigods, they are always protected by Lord. Sometimes he comes personally to fight against demons. Sometimes he gives them some advice. Sometimes he gives some boon. So like that, Krishna is doing his Leela. And why is he doing that? What is in intention and what he is what is he accomplishing in that act? That is that we may understand, we may not understand. It depends how much Krishna reveals to us. But our question should be that, okay, now what do I understand from this situation, from this description in the scripture, and what should be my mood? But in all these cases, we see that spiritual life was always protected. That is ultimate protection. And we don't have to worry that I will also be tested like that. Bhagavatam says that Lord is saying to Yudhishthira that unto those souls to whom I show my special mercy, I take away all the things. Yasyaham anugranami harishe tadhanam shanai. So sometimes neophytes like me, they get afraid, they get scared. Oh, if I advance in bhakti, gradually everything will be taken away. But Krishna is like an examiner who wants to give full marks to all the candidates. He does not want to fail anyone. And he sets question paper in such a way that everyone will score full marks. And for everyone, the first rank is available. In material world, first rank can be taken by only one person. I mean, one seat can be like people students prepare for civil services or various government posts. So one post cannot be given to two persons. There is lots of competition. But Krishna has no limitation. He can give same post to unlimited jivas. Unlimited jivas can become gopis. Unlimited jivas can become gopas. Unlimited jivas can become cows, cowherd boys, or trees, whatever. So he has no limitations. So he tests us according to our level. If he knows that we will not be able to pass this test, he won't test us. No one will be tested like Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was not tested, but the point is, from pure devotee's life, Krishna is actually trying to inspire all of us. By seeing the difficulties in the lives of Pandavas, by reading the difficulties in their lives, by reading about the difficulties our acharyas have faced, we get inspiration that my difficulty is very small, insignificant. If they always remained firm, they always caught the lotus feet of Krishna, I should also follow. So that inspiration we can take. So we will not be tested like Srila Prabhupada. At the age of 70, we will be told, go to the Western country or go to some other country, some other planet, and suffer heart attack, yet preach. We will not be tested like that. But we can take inspiration from these pure devotees, because they have underwent so much hardship that our hardship, our struggles in our personal life is insignificant. So then we can also perceive and try to advance in our bhakti. So that's why it is very important to understand that it is very important to widen our perspective, so that by reading about these various examples and scriptures, we get the understanding that no, Supreme Lord, he is always ready to help his devotees, and not just at the physical level, at mental level, intellectual level also. We may not be facing physical hardship. No one is coming to kill us. Although some devotees, even in today's time, are facing that challenge. Like some devotees, they got killed in Ukraine war, and in Russia previously we heard. But at least we, especially those who are in India, they are so safe. We are so safe. No one is coming to kill us. War is not going on in the country. But then mental struggle is going on. Intellectual struggle is going on. Our senses are dragging us here and there. Mind does not support. Intelligence is so weak, we are not able to discriminate what is right, what is wrong. We end up wasting our time. I end up wasting my time. And we get busy in activity which ultimately gives no result or insignificant result, but our considerable time goes in that. So because of lack of discrimination. So Krishna again and again protects our intelligence also, protects our mind also. He gives us strength, provided as much as we want to take his protection. If we are keeping ourselves in touch with Srimad Bhagavatam, we are keeping ourselves in touch with devotees, with the holy name, our intelligence will always remain fresh. We'll be able to see the temptations, we'll be able to discriminate. But if we don't regularly do this, take association, holy name, so we all chant, 16 rounds, somehow we finish. But if we don't regularly associate, regularly means daily, if we do not associate with Srimad Bhagavatam daily, then our intelligence becomes dull, and gradually everything in bhakti becomes stale. So we should all do our part, and then we can faithfully depend on Supreme Lord's protection, Krishna's protection. And Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita also. What he says, 10.9. Tesham satata yuktana bhajatam priti purvakam Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. So first line is for us. If you do this, then I'll give you dadami buddhi yogam. Then I'll give you dadami. What do you have to do? Tesham satata yuktanam. Yuktanam. The word used is yuktanam. Yukti. Yukti means devising an idea. So Krishna is not saying that. Krishna is already giving us an hint about the nature of this material world. It will not be easy. You have to apply your intelligence that now in this situation, how do I perform devotional service? If everyone is given a bead bag and you just sit here, prasadam is arranged, there is no difficulty. We don't have to preach. Everyone has become a devotee in this world. Kirtan is happening. We are all sitting in Mayapur Dham. Books are distributed. Every single jiva on this planet has got Prabhupada's books. Everyone is chanting. Now all of us, we just have to chant, sit here, prasadam is arranged, everything is done. And then we may think that bhajan will be very easy. But Krishna is not giving us any assurance like that. That when you come to bhakti, things will be arranged for you. Definitely it is arranged. In one sense, everything is arranged for us. But then he's saying we have to apply our intelligence, yukti, yuktanam. And by applying our intelligence, we have to do our bhajan. Very strong bhajan. Tesham satatitam bhajatam priti purvakam. We have to do bhajan with love. To such devotees, Krishna says, I give them buddhi yogam, dadami buddhi yogam. It may appear contradictory. If I have to apply my intelligence, then why Krishna is saying in next line that I'll give you intelligence, buddhi yogam, I'll give you buddhi. I'm already applying my intelligence without Krishna giving me. Then how come Krishna is again saying in next line that I will give you intelligence? So Krishna has already given us sufficient intelligence with which we can start, or with which we can think of how to perform bhakti in different situations, different challenging situations. And then he gives us more intelligence so that we go on increasing. There is no end to it. So this is how we all should understand, faithfully practice, and then we can expect Krishna's protection in our day-to-day lives. So this is all I could gather from different senior Vaishnavas and Prabhupada's lecture, what I heard from them. And I tried to repeat it without any realization. So I just pray that whatever I spoke, I also apply in my life, be able to apply. And, thank you all the devotees for giving me opportunity. Thank you, Mataji, especially Shama Gauri Mataji. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If there are any questions or comments or corrections, please feel free to speak.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That was really a very wonderful class, explaining. You gave various examples also, like you told about the sound, which Prabhupada has especially explained from the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The sound theory fully is given in that. So that part which I liked the most. And various pastimes you narrated also. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So devotees, we have questions, Prabhuji. We have hand raises. Anuradha Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. I really like the point when you said that, we have to understand that we are limited to understand Krishna's unlimitedness. On the sound thing, when you are talking about Vaikari and Pada, would you come back again, Prabhu? I just missed out. Like Pada, Apada, and Vaikari. Are these the three that you mentioned, Prabhu?
I'm just typing in the chat box. And there are 4 stages of sound: Vaikari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, and Para.
Okay. So when we hear
Vaikari is at physical level, the conventional language which we use. Like the word and the object have no connection. We say tree, but the word tree and the actual object, they are different. But at the level of para, the word and the object become same. And this is only possible in Sanskrit language. Sanskrit has that power. Or the words uttered by a devotee from that platform. Like Srila Prabhupada, one senior devotee was explaining, he has not written his book in English language. So we were surprised to hear that. What is this new concept? So because Prabhupada's words are coming from spiritual platform. So there was an internal meaning to that.
So that's para, you said, right? So, and the other two, where is there an explanation in the Bhagavatam where we can read it?
You won't get this technical term as it is in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is given in Vedas. And,
and the other two, Prabhu, in that case?
Madhyama and Pashyanti is mental and intellectual.
Mental and intellectual, respectively,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay. And this got nothing to do with para.
These mantras which are chanted to invoke weapons, they are at the level of Madhyama, Pashyanti actually. Because by sound they are bringing a physical change.
Okay. So mental and intellectual, you said, Madhyama and...
Yeah.
And Prabhu, so this got nothing to do with para prakriti or para prakriti, right? This is different.
No.
This is something.
Yeah, this is different. Para means that which is above, means beyond this material realm. That is called para. The sound which is coming from spiritual platform, that is called para sound. And rest, all these three, Vaikhari, Madhyama and Pashyanti, these are from apara prakriti.
Okay. That's very helpful. Thank you, Prabhu. Give your association more frequently. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for that question. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hrithik, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Really, your class was so wonderful. I was so impressed by your class. I have one little doubt, Prabhuji. As you said, there are many Rudras in many different universe also. So this term is belongs to Bhagavatam or any other Vedas?
There are many universes. This is explained in Bhagavatam or not? That's what you are asking?
Yes. Like many Rudras are there in different.
Yeah, this is explained in Bhagavatam.
Okay, so can we say this?
You can go to the section where Rudra is manifested from the eyebrows of Brahma. I think this is in 2nd canto. And then Brahma asks Rudra to procreate. And then you can read there that Rudra's, all his progeny, they attacked Brahma only. Okay. So Brahma got disgusted and he told Rudra to go and perform tapasya, stop creating. So there in one of the purports, Prabhupada has quoted, I think some Acharya has quoted, maybe Madhvacharya, I'm just speculating. And there it is explained there are 1 million Rudras in this universe.
So can we say like that also, like we Indians or we like Sanatani are fortunate enough, like we already knows the parallel universe or multiverse so earlier than now, like now it's very common, but we know these things in very ancient time. So can we say this?
Yeah, we at least know theoretically. It is given in Shastras, but I don't know how much we understand the concept of parallel universe, because we are so gross in our understanding.
Yes.
So yeah, but this is explained in our Shastras. So everyone is fortunate. Anyone who is coming in touch with, we are fortunate by coming in ISKCON. Yes, after coming to ISKCON, we became fortunate. Prior to that, we did not know anything. I mean, how many of us knew that there are 3 Vishnus? Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. No, this TV serial makers could crack. Even Ramanand Sagar, whose Ramayana was Krishna, was so popular, and he actually delved 3 years. B.R. Chopra, I heard in one interview, B.R. Chopra, his script writer, ventured to different places in India for 3 years to write his script, and he met different stages, different organization, Mathadikaris, to understand Mahabharata, and then he came up with his script with dialogues and all. And similarly, Ramanand Sagar also, he himself was a very spiritual person, and he knew Shastras. So his Ramayana and his Krishna serial is also based on scriptures. But we could never understand that demigods, when they are approaching Lord Vishnu, they are going to Shir Sagar, not to Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And it was never so. After reading Prabhupada's book, we came to know that, oh, Garbhodak ocean is at the bottom of the universe, inaccessible. No one can go there. Then Shweta Dvipa, somewhere in this universe, somewhere, we don't know where it is. Shir Sagar is there. There also, Vishnu may give darshan, may not give darshan. And then what to talk of Mahavishnu? No one can see him unless he shows himself.
And another question.
Coming to ISKCON, we became fortunate. We got to know all this.
Another question, Prabhu, from Mahabharata. Actually, I studied somewhat about the Karna story, about the Karna story. Like,
where did you read from?
Sorry, I didn't read, but I watched Mahabharata from YouTube. But it's only for the purpose of knowing the outlet of story.
I have a request. Before you ask question, I have a request.
Okay.
please forget whatever you have seen. And if you really want to know Mahabharata, you can either read in full detail. Okay. Although in ISKCON, we don't have text by text translation, but yet Prabhupada's disciples have done a wonderful job, especially Krishna Dharma Prabhu. His Mahabharata you can read. It is available on website also, vedabase.io. I personally read that twice, so it is very wonderfully rendered. We can read that, and then word to text by text if you want to read in detail. I mean, the purports are very important. We may know the story, but we may not understand why this is happening, why this has happened to Karna. However, His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, he has given, he has spoken on these characters in great detail. So maybe you can hear some of his classes also. But anyways, you go ahead with your question. I know I may.
What I saw, like so many injustice has happened with the Karna.
Now I understood your question.
Other also, and from his
I'm sorry
guru
for
also.
cutting it in between.
Okay.
I'm sorry for cutting in between. This is a very common question, especially in India. Many people ask this. So
he was completely what to say.
There was no injustice.
He was a complete
done to
person
Karna.
also. You can say he was so powerful also. He was everything he had, but so many injustice he was suffered. But he was also so much in his dharma with the Duryodhan also. But he's in a wrong side that I consider.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
So many injustice happened.
Haritik Prabhu.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can Prabhuji answer the question? You just.
So that's what I'm saying, Prabhu. There are many misconceptions prevailing in the society, especially watching YouTube videos. We become more confused. My request to you is please forget whatever you have seen and whatever conceptions you are already carrying, that so much injustice. Nothing happened to no injustice happened to Karna. In fact, what to speak of Karna, no injustice is done to any jiva, neither to us nor to anyone else. Injustice does not happen in Krishna's creation. In Hindi there is a saying, some people say, Bhagwan ke ghar mein der hai, andher nahi. But devotees understand why there should be andher in Krishna's ghar. Is he like a Indian government official or what? That he is taking time to solve this problem. No, there is no there. There is no andher also. Everyone is getting what he is destined to get based on his previous karma. Karna did not get any injustice. He chose his path. Repeatedly, he was shown the right path by Krishna, by other sages, but he refused it. So we all are product of our own choices. We have to understand that. So Karna was also product of his own choice. Dharma has also various levels. And even rishis, they also differ. And there are more than 28 there are more than 20 dharma shastras. Even they differ among themselves. It's not that Mahabharata is very deep, Prabhu. And this I am saying after hearing from different great devotees. Just by reading, we will not understand. So Vedvyasa is trying to show in Mahabharata through different personalities where they are putting Krishna in their lives and how Krishna is reciprocating to them. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. This principle is visible throughout Mahabharata. Krishna is dealing with Pandavas so closely because they have accepted Krishna as their they have completely taken shelter of Krishna. Duryodhana is not getting anything from Krishna because he is not taking Krishna like that. And similarly, Karna is a mixed character. So many things are there. There's a detailed session on Karna. I gave you names of few devotees. You can hear their lectures and understand. Especially our His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, he has explained in great detail. Karna was a demon from last life and no injustice happened to him. And these modern interpreters or these animation makers, they are just playing with the scripts. They make Ravana and Karna heroes and Rama and Arjuna, they become villains. So please don't watch. Shastras are to be heard. We see through ears. Although it's our tendency to watch everything, to visualize everything, but we can't. We have to hear. We have to hear from authority.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That was really a very wonderful explanation which you had given. So, yeah, as you rightly said, it's just a waste of time watching on YouTube or somewhere else, which is a non-authorized book or any videos which is telling about Lord Shri Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for that information.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, there is this comment by Lalitangi Mataji on the chat back. If that Prabhu wants to read it.
Yeah, so this is one of the reason, which explains why Karna was killed like that. There are many more things like that. I did not speak. I know all this. I did not speak because it would take lots of time. I mean, just on Karna, we can speak for 2-3 hours. Where he went wrong, what all he did, his past life. We don't even know his past life. He was a demon named Sahasra Kavacha in past life. He was meant to be killed. I mean, destined to be killed by the hands of Arjuna. So it is, we all are on a journey. You have to understand that. We all are carrying our baggage of karma. Our pains and pleasure are not results of one lifetime activity. So just like that. So yeah, but for your reference, Ritik Prabhu, you can see that Karna only.
And Prabhuji, Nandapriya Mataji is asking the link for which Prabhupada's disciple has given on Mahabharata.
Vedablink.io, the website which we are using to read Bhagavatam in this class.
Okay.
The same website has
Is there any PDF, Prabhuji?
PDF you may get. Just Google it, Mahabharata by Krishna Dharma Prabhu PDF, if it is available. I think PDF is also available. Some link has provided PDF also, or you may buy hard copy from Amazon.com.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prahaladanand Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for allowing. And Dandavat Pranam to Adhokshaja Krishna Prabhuji and all the Haribol Prabhuji. I don't have a question to start with, but I really like the elaboration you gave on the sound. Our sixth scripture says that Sabdat Nivrutti. All right, our material journey will end with Sabda, the sound. And as you classified the sound as Para. And this the same is reflected when Vidura, he asked Maitre Rusi, Sukhai Karmani Karoti Loke, Natai Sukham Vad Upaparam Vad. So he's asking the question, what is the solution? What is the upai for this? And then the Maitre Rusi says that, Ase Sankle Samam Vidatte Guran Vat Sravanam Murare. Then he is also stressing on Sravanam Murare. And if you hear lectures of Sri Pada Radha Govind Swami, he again and again stresses the point of Sravana. So, we are all fortunate in the morning every day. We hear Srimad Bhagavatam from this group. And this is the one which is going to remove Asis Sankles. Our final Sankles is birth, death, and Sansar Chakra. This is what is going to be resolved just by hearing. Just by hearing Paras sound as you have defined. We will all get the ultimate love for Lord Shri Krishna. This is what is my realization and reflection. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Haribol Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your realization. And I don't see any more hand raised, Prabhuji. So yeah, thank you so much, Adhokshaja Prabhuji. That was really a very wonderful class, and we are very fortunate to have you today with us for this wonderful realization of the verse. And we want your association in future also. I think Shama Gauri Mataji is having some questions.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Very, very beautiful class, Prabhuji, and how nicely you explained that Krishna always wants to protect you. You know, he just even though somebody died and somebody saved and something happens to you, even your all property is gone, but still you are protected. Your bhakti is protected. So it's very, you know, take home lesson, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
you for giving me opportunity.
Yes, Prabhuji, we have to thank you that you have accepted our proposal and you have given this class today. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, and please come again on the call and give such an eclairian lecture also. Devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpatrupasya. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. His Grace Adhokshaja Krishna Prabhuji ki Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.